Hello from the streets of Amsterdam. In this video, we'll be flying aboard the oldest airplane in the entire United Airlines fleet, a 34-year-old Boeing 767-300ER delivered all the way back in 1991. We'll experience what is arguably one of the best seats aboard United's 767 aircraft as we fly nearly 9 hours from Amsterdam to Washington, D.C. We'll see how well United's retrofits and newer technologies adapt to their older fleet, experience their onboard product and services in economy class, and review the overall flight. So, without further ado, let's get started. Our journey begins with one of the many bus routes in Amsterdam. If you're traveling to Amsterdam, you can get just about anywhere via their extensive bus and rail network, or you could even rent a bicycle, as I did for an evening. Amsterdam is an incredibly easy city to traverse without a car, with plenty of public transit, bicycle, and even walkable areas. Inside the airport, I was able to skip the check-in line entirely and go straight to security. United Airlines offers an intuitive and easy-to-use app that helps streamline the process by providing your security document, bag check information, and other important details to save time. They even include small but useful features, such as which doors to enter and which departure halls to walk through. These convenient details are incredibly helpful, and I really appreciate them. Amsterdam Schiphol Airport also offers security time slots, which allows passengers to use a dedicated line. While it wasn't busy at the time of my arrival, I highly recommend booking one, especially during peak hours. It could mean the difference between waiting for an extended period of time or breezing through security. After security, I had a few hours before my flight began boarding, so I decided to walk around and do some shopping. Similar to many other European airports, Amsterdam offers a wide variety of duty-free shops and affordable shopping options. I even bought myself a model KLM airplane and a few souvenirs. One minor complaint, however, is that the bathrooms at the airport aren't very large and lines are common. I visited 3 different concourses and multiple bathrooms, and all of them had lines. I recommend using the restroom as early as possible or before arriving at the airport, as Schiphol seems to have a shortage of bathrooms based on my experience. As departure time approached, boarding began. I was booked in Economy Plus, United's extra legroom economy option. This placed me in boarding group 3, designated for Economy Plus and economy passengers with window seats. Groups 1 and 2 are reserved for Star Alliance tier members, United credit card holders, and higher fare cabins. Our aircraft was parked at a remote stand, so we had to take a shuttle bus to board via air stairs. This was a cool experience, as boarding a wide-body aircraft via air stairs is incredibly rare in the United States. I made my way to my seat, 31A, on the 767. United's Boeing 767 aircraft are configured in a 2-3-2 layout for economy class. Today's aircraft, November 641 Uniform Alpha, is in United's second cabin layout with 30 Polaris Business seats, 24 Premium Plus seats, 32 Economy Plus seats, and 117 economy seats. At my seat, a pillow and blanket were provided. United's extra legroom seats offer 34 inches of pitch, 18.5 inches of width, and 4 inches of recline. Since these seats were in the Overwing exit row, we had even more legroom than standard extra legroom seats. A universal AC socket was provided below the seats, along with a USB Type-A port at the IFE screen. each economy seat features a 9-inch Panasonic touchscreen IFE system. The screen was fast and responsive, making it easy to navigate. Due to the extra legroom, our tray tables retracted from the armrests rather than the seat back. They were foldable and could be halved if you didn't need the full tray. Before boarding was completed, the cabin crew then distributed earbuds to passengers who wanted them. November 641 Uniform Alpha, as mentioned at the start of the video, is United Airlines' oldest airplane in their fleet, and it showed. The overhead bins were incredibly small, making it a bit of a struggle to find space and close them. That said, the aircraft was clean and well maintained, just dated. Shortly afterwards, the safety video was shown and we began our departure.
Make sure your mask is secure.
Once we reached our cruising altitude, the cabin crew began the in-flight service. First, they came around with drink carts and stroopwafels. A short time later, the main meal was served. There was a choice between a chicken dish and a vegetarian pasta. I selected the chicken option, chicken with mushrooms, pasta, carrots and peas, served with a salad, bread, and truffles. The food was decent, not bad, but also not particularly memorable. It had a reasonable taste and I wasn't disappointed, but it wasn't anything special. To put it into perspective, it's better than Lufthansa, but not as good as JetBlue or Cathay Pacific. It's like a TV dinner. Not awful, but not premium either. The cabin crew were incredibly kind, professional, and attentive. They frequently checked in to see if I needed anything or wanted more to drink. After the meal, as we made our way across the Atlantic, I took the opportunity to watch some TV shows on the IFE screen. The earbuds provided by United were flimsy and low quality, but they got the job done. United's newer IFE systems include Bluetooth capabilities, allowing passengers to use their own headphones, but unfortunately, this feature wasn't available on this 767. That said, United offers plenty of movies, TV shows, podcasts, and games to keep passengers entertained. Although, one complaint I do have is the excessive amount of ads. Each time I played a new episode or movie, I had to watch several United and other brand commercials. I didn't have this when flying on other airlines long haul, and it was a bit repetitive and annoying. Furthermore, the crew would occasionally have several minute-long announcements that interrupted our entertainment. This is a minor nitpick, but again, I didn't experience this on other long-haul flights with different airlines. It's not a big problem, it's simply just a little annoying when you want to watch a TV show continuously and not be interrupted. Wi-Fi was also available for purchase. United is rolling out free Wi-Fi and Starlink to their fleet, but at the time of this flight, only a few regional jets have been equipped. As a T-Mobile user, I was able to redeem 1 free hour of Wi-Fi, which worked well on the return leg, but was spotty on my initial flight to Amsterdam. I also had the option to use one of my 4 full flight Wi-Fi passes per year, but I decided to save it for another trip. Before going to sleep, I visited the lavatory. It was clean, well kept, and a decent size. Back at my seat, I managed to sleep for several hours. The seat was reasonably comfortable, and thanks to the extra legroom and recline in Economy Plus, I had plenty of space to stretch out. The pillow and blanket were adequate, though I would have preferred a slightly larger blanket as it didn't fully cover me. United also provides a small seat-side remote to control the IFE screen and personal reading light, which I found convenient as I didn't have to get up to adjust settings or entertainment on my IFE screen. As we approached North America, another meal service began. Passengers were served warm pizza twists, along with drinks and snacks. I also hoped to listen to United's Channel 9, their pilot ATC radio channel, but unfortunately, it wasn't working on this flight. We then began our descent into Washington, D.C. Upon landing, we taxied to the gate and began deboarding. The cabin crew thanked passengers as we exited. At Washington Dulles, passengers can use an online app to submit immigration and customs information, skipping long lines. I highly recommend doing this. It saved me a lot of time. Within very little time, I was able to pass through immigration and customs and be on my way to Washington, D.C. and eventually Washington Reagan for my connection. In conclusion, how did I feel about my flight aboard United from Amsterdam to Washington, D.C.? Pretty good. The seat was comfortable and I had plenty of legroom. The Inflight Entertainment was great and I had plenty of things to do to pass the time. The cabin crew were incredibly kind, professional, and attentive. The food was fine, and while the airplane showed its age, the 232 configuration made the experience more comfortable than a comparable 333 or 343 layout. However, when discussing value, things get a bit murkier. Looking 2 months into the future, the absolute cheapest round-trip tickets on United were around $700 for basic economy. A standard economy ticket cost about $850, and upgrading to an Overwing exit row seat adds another $175 to $200 one way. As much as I enjoyed my flight, I don't believe the extra legroom seat is worth an additional $200 for a single leg, especially since I flew in a regular economy middle seat on my outbound flight on this exact same aircraft. Comparatively, you could fly on Scandinavian, JetBlue, Icelandair, Aer Lingus, or Turkish for a lower price, sometimes several $100s cheaper if you're willing to take a stop. Alternatively, you could fly KLM or Delta for a similar or lower fare with free seat selection and arguably better food. This isn't to say United is a bad option. I genuinely enjoyed my flight and wouldn't hesitate to fly them again. But United sits in an awkward middle ground. If you're looking for the best economy experience for the price, then there are better options. If you're looking for a cheaper but still decent experience, there's options for that too. So United sits in the middle of that, awkwardly. That said, if you have United miles, a credit card, or find a good deal, I do recommend flying United, even on their older equipment like their 767 fleet. Overall, I had a good flight on United and would recommend it if it's convenient and affordable. While it may not be the absolute best way to cross the Atlantic, it was an enjoyable experience and I'd gladly book again. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I read and try to respond to all comments, so feel free to leave one. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks again for watching.
I wish I knew how much I miss